What's crack-a-lackin' degenerates and stranglers? It's good to see y'all mudda truckers. I'm Josh Moody. This is John Batanti, and you are here with Algorithm versus the Experts. Today we are going to be making our picks for UFC Fight Night Kattar versus Emmett, which is a dope-ass fight. If you don't know, you gotta know. You gotta know. Before we get started, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. You would not believe how much benefit we get from just those simple little actions, right? It goes a long way into pushing the algorithm and getting us more views. So tell a friend. We're keeping the same grin whether we lose or win. John, what's new and exciting with you?
What's going on? Surprised at the I'm surprised at the ending last week in the main event. I don't know if anybody stayed up out there to watch the whole Glover Teixeira collapse, like last minute collapse. I didn't think that was a thing in MMA. Like team sports, there's always like that late minute collapse, but you don't really see it too much in MMA.
What do you mean? I don't follow team sports, so
like a lot of times, for instance, like an NBA game, if the team's up by like 5 with like 22 seconds left, their team's fouling to stop the clock. They got to go make free throws. The game's pretty much over at that point. All they got to do is make their free throws, and their team can't catch up. The clock's going to run. They have to bury threes and try to steal it or foul you again. You're always going to get points. Sometimes though, like those teams, like they miss the free throws, and then they give up a hits a 3-pointer, cuts it to 2, then they turn the fucking ball over on the inbounds play, and the other team hits a 3 at the buzzer and wins the game. So it's just such a big turnaround. Glover was up on every judge's scorecard 3-1 going to the 5th round. So he had the fight in the bag. With him, I don't know what happens. The man with the best MMA BJJ just got choked out with no hooks in. It was fucking just doesn't happen. I don't know. It just doesn't happen that often. Like if you bet that, Yuri to win my sub was the most unlikely outcome. For him to do it in the 5th round, that was like astronomical. You could have probably got plus like $100 could have got you at least $10,000 or $15,000. Like somebody would have booked that bet. It's so crazy. Like for him to catch that win the way it happened, I was kind of shocked. I was like, did that just happen? Like the ref stopped the fight. The way it showed live, you couldn't see the tap. You just saw the ref coming in, and everyone was like, kind of like, I think even the commentators were like, "It's over!" Like wait, what? It's over? Like what? Like how? Why is it over? Like Glover just got choked from like a standing rear naked or something. But I don't know. He was just gassed. He said afterwards he just was gassed. The weight cut got him the day before. He said he was vomiting. He didn't recover well from the weight cut. He said, I'm not blaming that. I should have done a better weight cut. He said, just whatever. But he said he just had nothing left at like 30 seconds. He made a mistake trying. He tried too hard to get the finish in the 5th round, and he just had nothing left. I guess that shows because he kind of had an arm triangle locked up, or so it looked, and he didn't get the tap. But did you watch it? What did you think?
Yeah, I think I saw every fight. I think Glover looked really good. It looked about like I thought it was going to look. I didn't think that Jiri was going to be able to get up as much as he did. I thought that Jiri kind of would, once he hit the ground, would just be stuck. I didn't expect him to be able to create reversals. There were 6 reversals in this fight. That's the kind of shit that happens at flyweight.
Yeah, Jiri fought out of some bad positions, like 3 of like full mount, like where Glover just crushed it, and he did. He found a way to get out of him. I was impressed with that.
6 sweeps or 6 reversals happening in a fight is absolutely unheard of, especially at light heavyweight. Like if you guys haven't noticed, the meta for MMA is get taken down, get back up. Now, even if you're a grappler, the primary meta is I'm taken down. Oh no, get back to my feet. Often through wall walking, typically through wall walking. make space. Okay, now I'll take him down. Or every now and then I'll end up on top while I'm trying to stand back up. But these were just like straight reversals, top to bottom, which is super uncommon. You do not see a lot of reversals in MMA. You don't see a lot of sweeps in MMA.
No.
Usually you see those types of things happening from like failed submissions, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that was very impressive to see that amount of chaos happening in that fight, because that's not normal at all.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, Jack Della Maddalena looked like a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, he did. He looked good. He fought out of like I thought it was a pretty deep sub attempt by Emmett.
Yep.
And he got out of it. I mean, I don't know what was wrong with Emmett. I think we talked about last week how that line completely shifted, and then as you know it, Emmett, when he walked to the octagon, the guy had like a real bad case of sunburn. So I don't know if like motherfuckers were like there and like saw this dude like, this guy. Like the information got passed around, like, yo, this dude can't put his arms down. He's got fucking sunburn or something. Like,
you think the line changed over sunburn?
Yeah, like, was that like the people angle? Like, somebody must have saw that. Like, the towel guy at the pool was like, yo, this guy's fucking burnt. And then people were like, yo, he's fighting. Like, oh, let's bet against him. Like, he can't win. His skin's damaged. Like, it's so like, I don't know. Like, but it just looked like he had a submission attempt that he somehow fucked up, and then he just got knocked the fuck out. Like, I don't know. It looked like he just, I don't know. It was just a weird. Like, you obviously can never prove it, but it's just like he walked in there like, walked in there, I'm going to shoot my load and get this, because then after that, he's like, yeah, I can't win this fight. It was very strange to see. Jake Matthews looked fucking awesome too, in my opinion. He looked great. He looked better than I've ever seen him in any of his fights. And he did say afterwards that he's been holding back. He's gonna be a better fighter. We haven't seen him, and like Jake Matthews was supposed to be. He's been in the UFC since he was 19. I remember he was a big prospect. He trained with like John Jones, Jackson Wink. I remember even John Jones said like this guy could be a future champion. So Jake Matthews has game. Maybe he's turned a corner. Maybe something's been holding him back, and he turned the corner. His next fight. I'm excited to see who he fights or against, because he looked fucking awesome. So it was just like Jack Della. Yeah. Whaley looked awesome.
Whaley looked really good. I did not expect it.
Yeah, nobody beat Joanna like that.
I gotta go shut this door.
No problem. Valentina struggled mightily. We've never seen her make poor decisions. She made a poor decision about 4 times to keep grappling with Santos. Santos, you could see physically, like, her arms are bigger. Like, I think we knew going in she's strong, but I don't think we knew she had that scramble ability. She was in some bad spots, and she scrambled out of them pretty easy. Her arms are long, her hands are big, like even like her feet were big, like everything. Like, so that kind of helps. Like, when you grapple a smaller woman who just relies on purely technique. But I did feel Valentina won the fight. Not 49-46, but I thought she would have won a split 49-48 or a unanimous 49-48. But other than that, that's the first time we've seen Valentina get pushed in a long time, years. I think they're going to do that rematch because no other fight really makes sense for Valentina.
You think they're just going to run that back?
I mean, yeah, there's nobody else for her to fight. There's no other flyweight coming up or anybody, and that was by far the biggest contest. No, I don't want to see that again.
Valentina hasn't fought Miesha Tate?
Oh, I thought you said Chukagian. I'm sorry. Miesha Tate now. Stop. No.
That's the next fight that's going to happen.
No.
Guarantee it.
Well, I don't want to watch that.
Yep.
That's not a good fight.
That's not a good fight. 100% that's the one that's going to happen.
All right, we'll see. What about this week? What do you think? First, UFC, it's in Austin, Texas.
Ooh, unless Lauren Murphy beats Miesha Tate. If Miesha Tate wins in 2 weeks, then Miesha Tate's going to win it.
Right.
She's a former champion, but people actually know. Like,
that's true. She's hot. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can see that. Maybe you're right.
All signs point to Miesha.
Yeah, I mean, Santos broke her orbital. That might take time to heal. Maybe she'll get a fight in before then. All right, yeah. I mean, hey, That would make sense for Valentina, like, fight a grappler again.
Misha's fighting in 2 weeks. Like, dude, I'm telling you, this is like Valentina already called for it. This is happening. This isn't maybe. This isn't, oh, well, that could. No, this is happening. The only thing that could happen is if Misha loses. If Misha doesn't lose to Lauren Murphy, who's ranked number 8, it's 100% going to be Misha.
Right.
100%. There's no other good options except for like Manon Farrow, the French girl. But that French chick, as Caitlin called her, is fighting Caitlin. That's it. But yeah, moving on to this week.
Yeah, this is going to be good. That Singapore crowd was pretty weak. That was early there, but it wasn't really that great early. It was dead. They're in Austin for the first time. I mean, I'm sure this is going to be a packed house with a rocking crowd from the beginning. There's never been a UFC in Austin, so I think it's going to be a crowd just like the London crowds. It's going to be packed early, and they're fighting at the Moody Center. Why are you not on that card? Why are you not on that card? That is your house. First fight of the night. We got Kyle Dawkins, Philly represent against Roman Dolidze. Roman Dolidze, he's likes to wrestle. He definitely has power in his strikes. The problem is he doesn't like to throw his strikes. He needs a lot. He needs like an invitation or something to get going. I don't like that. His wrestling, definitely good on the ground. He's definitely not overrated. I think a little bit. I've seen the third round though. When he wrestles, he gets a little tired, which doesn't help when he doesn't want to throw strikes. Kyle Dawkins is the Darce Knight. The man's got chokes. Pretty much that's how he wins. If he finishes you, it's going to be by a choke. He doesn't knock anyone out. But he does throw volume. His striking overall technically is very good. Muay Thai style. I think that'll serve him well here. I also think his BJJ is going to serve him well against a guy who likes to shoot blind, who likes to shoot blind, meaning no strikes, doesn't set it up. I think he'll be able to get up as well. If Dolidze does get a few takedowns, Kyle usually gets up. Kyle can pick the pace. The only time I've seen him tired was the Phil Hall's fight. His cardio just wasn't there. But other than that, he seems like he can do that for days. If they clinch up, I think Kyle also has the advantage. I think his Muay Thai, his clinch game is better than Dolidze's. So I got Kyle here. I think he wins a decision though. I don't know if he can finish Dolidze. I think Dolidze is probably a little too savvy to get finished. What do you got? Dolidze? Nice.
The dude's got 6 Darce strangles. Hey,
Darce
don't be that's insane. First of all, the Darce Knight is a dope name. I didn't know he had a moniker at all. That's one of the best monikers I've ever heard of. But also 6 in his career out of 6 out of 11 professional wins are by Darce.
Yep.
And then a couple of rear nakeds. I thought this dude was a kickboxer. Anyways,
he is. I mean, he's mostly. I mean, he's a legit BJJ black belt. He's high level, probably like you are. You guys probably have a good grappling match. 2 nerds going at it. But he does have a Muay Thai style. It's good. He just doesn't. He just doesn't have. He just doesn't have finishing power with his hands yet. But maybe that'll change.
I mean, the 2 guys that beat him in the UFC were both grapplers, and those are his only losses. And then the 2 guys that he beat in the UFC, I don't think Dustin Stoltzfus is a grappler. I'm not. Oh yeah, no. Dude, did you see Roman Dolidze's first fight in the UFC?
Don't remember offhand.
It was either in the first one or the second one. At one point, he looks up to his corner and he says, "Coach, Do I finish him now? And his coach goes, yeah, buddy, if you can finish him, finish him. And he says, okay.
Awesome.
Like, this has that kind of presence of mind. Like, yo, I like this guy. I like this guy. He's looked really good in each one of his fights. Even though he lost to Trevin Giles, I must not have seen that fight because I don't remember him seeing him lose. And the fact that he went to split decision with John Allen. Oh, that's not the guy I thought it was. I don't really love that. But he looked really, really good against Ibrahimov. He fought, I believe that was one of those ones that was in Dubai. During COVID or whatever. Like COVID's over. And then L'Oreal Staropoli, I'm pretty sure he looked pretty good in that one as well. Dude, these Georgian dudes are something else. Like, I don't know why all of the Soviet Union hasn't been heavily represented. But like those countries that still have that philosophy that are making their way here are doing incredibly well. So every Georgian fighter I've run into is a fucking animal. Everyone I've seen in the UFC is a fucking animal, right? Like, if you tell me something from Georgia, I'm going to believe in them just like I'm going to believe in them if they're Dagestani, right? I just am. And I've seen that dude grapple, and he's a bad mamma jamma. So I'm going from a delete. Also, because he's got a dope name.
No way. All right. I like it. I'll go for it. Next fight card, Phil Hawes versus Darren Wynn. Yeah, this is probably my best bet. I think Phil Hawes by finish is the best bet. Under 2.5 rounds, -110. Fucking bet that now. Phil Hawes has so many things that work for him in this fight. Phil Hawes is a wrestler. He's physically stronger than Darren Wynn. Darren Wynn's style is just, I need to take you down and control you, or I can hit you with an overhand right. Does Phil Hawes have a chin problem? Absolutely. He's very suspect. But it's a lot different of a game when the guy only has one strike that can really knock you out. Phil Hawes also has a 7-inch reach advantage in this fight. Phil Hawes also has been known to cardio out, but it seems like he's fixed that problem. The only problem now is his chin. I think he stuffs takedowns. I think he clips Darren Wynn early and hurts him. And I think he finds a way to finish the fight. If the fight gets extended, what about when Wynn tires out? I don't see him getting Hawes down repeatedly and controlling him. I think Phil Hawes has so many ways to win this fight. I think he wins by finish in less than 2.5 rounds.
I don't.
Shock.
I actually I went back and forth with this one a lot. And there was a lot of hype behind Darren Wynn when he first got to the UFC, and then that hype was kind of like, eh. He's kind of a fucking boring fighter, but I'm also I'm gonna eat my words on this one. I wasn't super impressed with Phil Hawes for most of the time he's been in the UFC.
I can see that.
I don't remember. Yeah, no, like I don't remember the Jacob Malkoun fight. No, that's because it lasted 18 seconds. Nasruddin Imavev, like the Kyle Dawkins fight, like that felt to me like Dawkins made a strategic error in forcing grappling with a somewhat credentialed wrestler. I don't know how credentialed, but I know people know. He went to Iowa Community College, which is, where John Jones went and where Colby Covington went. And like a lot of really good guys have gone to that school before they made it and did other stuff. So that's a good wrestle.
All the guys that stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
But I don't like Darren Wynn was wrestling on an international level before coming over to MMA. He's a little old though. Well, I mean, they're the same age. I'm going with Deron Wynn. I don't feel super confident in this one, like John does, but I just don't like the. I don't think that Phil Haas is going to finish Deron Wynn like that. I definitely don't see happening. I believe this is going to be a boring 3-round decision. Like this fight's probably going to suck. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Next fight, Cody Stamann versus Eddie Wineland. Eddie Wineland's been around forever. Right? This dude, this is going to be his 41st professional fight. I think he took a bunch of time off, though. Not really a bunch of time. Oh, okay. He fought. Yeah. So he hasn't fought in since February of last year. He lost round 1 in that fight and round 1 against Sean O'Malley a year before that. Cody Stamann does not have a habit of knocking people out, at least not in the UFC. All of his wins are decision. Yeah. So we don't really have to worry about that instant KO. And Wineland tends to lose decisions, right? That's just not his style. Causes him to get hit a lot. His hands are down really, really low, but he hits like a freight train. So when he does connect with people, he tends to put them out. John, why is half of your screen blocked? Never mind. Your phone's just under. So yeah, I don't think that Eddie Wineland can beat Cody Stamann over the distance, nor do I expect him to knock Cody Stamann out, because that's not a thing that's happened before, and I don't see it happening as this dude is winding down. Like, he's got to be pretty old too. 37, yeah, 37, fighting at 135 pounds. Like, there's not a lot of dudes fighting at 135 that are 37 years old and successful. So I definitely have Cody the Spartan Stamann for that one.
I disagree with that. I think Eddie Wineland can actually win this fight no matter where it goes. I thought he would have like a round, like to knock Stamann out, and then he'll gas. But after I dug deeper, it's actually the fucking opposite. Stamann looks like, to me, he gasses, and usually because of his striking, which is a karate based, like Kenpo karate based, if that's not working, he's got a really good wrestling game and he relies heavily on it. But if that doesn't work, he's a different fighter by the third round. So Eddie Wineland, some nerd stats. Eddie Wineland's career takedown defense is over 80%. In the UFC alone, he's been there a while, it's over 90%. That's pretty fucking good.
That is pretty fucking good.
Over that many fights, I mean, the man is. I didn't dig into who's a grappler, but he's got like 50 fights. He's had to fight a guy to try to take him down. The thing in everybody's head, I think, is just Eddie Wineland getting fucking flatlined by Sean O'Malley. So this line has ballooned. Like, this line opened Cody Stamann minus 200. It's now at like minus 575. Like, people, fucking stop. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, yes, you get lucky sometimes when your fighter fucks up, like Erin Blanchfield lost the first round against JJ Aldrich, and she doesn't look good. Like, she's not a minus 600, and she finds a lucky submission. I mean, this is different. This is like, this is a different style here. This is a guy that has real knockout power. Eddie Wineland still has his punches. It looks to me like he's still got snap on and stuff. I mean, I think the longer this fight goes, I like Eddie. I think Eddie can, if he can stay on his feet, which he should, because Cody Stamann doesn't have stopping power. He can win all these exchanges. He's going to initiate exchanges, like you said. He's very non-defensive. But I think he's going to have the power edge. I think I'm going to go with Eddie Wineland for value and the upset. There's no way I could back taking Stamann at minus 600. Who the fuck is Cody Stamann ever beat?
Don't bet on that. Don't bet on that.
Yeah.
Cody Staman's on like a crazy losing streak too.
I mean, Valentina was minus 600 against Thing. Like, why was Cody Stamann ever minus 600 over anyone? It's because the public's just ballooning it. It's out of control. Unless Eddie Wineland's just finished and people we don't know that are sharper than us have already start betting it, and he's going to get. But all right, moving on. Terrible fight. Gloria DePaula against Maria Oliveira. I mean, I feel this fight should have been the fight to kick off the card. I mean, this is just not a good fight. But Gloria DePaula, no fight IQ. Her two fights after the Contender Series are awful. She did show up last time, and she got in a striker's delight against Diana Belbita, who's also pretty low level, and she was able to outstrike her and win the fight, I think unanimously 29-28. So she stayed in the UFC. She won a fight. It doesn't get much better on the other side. Maria Oliveira. Doing some research, she's actually one of the few people I've ever seen tap two strikes, like mid-standing strikes. You don't see that too often. Like, they just start waving their hand like, I'm done. But that was against Marina Rodriguez in Brazil. So that's,
total sense. Yo, you can't like Marina Rodriguez is a fucking savage.
Yeah.
As the more I dig into women's records, that girl has beaten everybody that's come out of Brazil. Basically anybody that's in that weight class that's coming out of Brazil has fought Marina Rodriguez.
Yeah.
She fucked them all up.
That's who should fight Val. Isn't she a flyweight? That's who should get a title shot.
No, that's a strawweight. They're fighting a strawweight.
Right. I should know that. But back to Maria. So Maria Oliveira, right. I've never seen that. That's a horrible look. But it was Marina Rodriguez who just fucks everyone up, especially back then. Like, you're right, she's savage. Since then, she performed. She got she earned herself a UFC contract. She stepped up short note. She stepped up, took on Tabitha Ricci. Didn't look bad early. Eventually, though, the wrestling got her. Her wrestling defense is her Achilles heel. Ricci started to get takedowns, but she defended. She didn't get subbed, but she didn't do enough to win the fight. This fight's totally different. This is going to be. They're both the same exact style. They fought in the same exact organizations. They're both Muay Thai. I've seen Gloria DePaula do ridiculously dumb things, so I can never back her, really. Maria Oliveira also has the leg reach. She has a 2-inch reach with her hands. I don't know. It's really tough. I'll pick DePaula by decision, just in general. Like, I think but I don't like her at all. If you're going to bet, I would say bet Oliveira.
I don't expect Maria Oliveira to be able to win this fight. Reason being, she does not beat women with winning records.
That's true.
She just doesn't. That's true. At 11-4, she fought a girl who had never fought before. Beat her. At 10-4, she beat a girl whose only fight she lost.
That's like Liang Na last week, who you said you wouldn't if she just gets destroyed and she just walked. She looked like she never fought before. She looked so bad.
Exactly. So, in her very first fight, she fought a girl 0-0. Like, okay, cool. Like, that one was fair. No big deal. And then 2 fights later, she loses to a girl who's 5-0. She shouldn't have been in that fight. Okay. But then after that, 1-2 versus 0-0, cool. 2-2 versus 0-1, no big deal. Oh, okay. Now we're starting to fight girls who are 1-4, 1-3, 0-0 when you have 7 fights, not cool. 8 fights, 1-0. 9 fights, 2-0. 10 fights a girl who's 0-5. No. Mm-hmm. All of her victories are cans.
Mm-hmm.
All of her victories are set them up, knock them down, designed for her to win those fights. Gloria DePaula, on the other hand, has 4 losses. Cool, no, all right, that's not great, but those losses are to Ariane Carnelossi, who is another girl who beat everybody in Brazil before she got here. Carnelossi's got 17 wins or some shit, and some of those girls are super legit girls, right? I don't know who Isabel DePauda is. DePauda. Um, and then her other two fights are girls with recognizable names in the UFC. There's no reason that Gloria shouldn't win this fight. She's actually battle tested. Like, her losses are to girls who are good, and her wins are against, normal rank, normal. She's had a normal fighter's development and won some and lost some. The other girl was fed shit cans and lost some of those.
Mm.
Do not bet on Oliveira unless you're looking to light your money on fire. Like, I got $10. I don't know what to do with it. We'll put it on the girl who's gonna win me $1 billion. I don't know what the odds are, nor do I really understand.
It's not the. I mean, but. It's not. It's just, after seeing Gloria DePaulo just throw the fight away against Jinyu Frey, choosing to just stay on her back and try to dig out a Kimura from bottom. I mean, what the fuck are you doing? And then the whole Cheyenne Vlismas just getting ran over, knocked down, and then just blind, getting up without protecting your head or anything. I don't know. She just looks bad to me. And then the Belvita fight, yeah, I expect this fight to be just like that. So it's hard for me to. I can't tell, be comfortable and lay money on minus 275 on Gloria DePaulo. Yeah, I don't know. Take a shot with the other girl if you're going to bet it, but all right. I guess we'll think DePaulo sneaks it out. Moving on. Ricardo Ramos and Danny Chavez. Yeah, I think Ramos has this fight covered everywhere it goes. 5-inch reach advantage. Danny Chavez doesn't have any stopping power. Doesn't have stopping power, in my opinion. I don't think he had that questionable draws last time we saw him against Kai Kamaka. I thought Kai Kamaka won that fight. He did win a unanimous decision against TJ Brown, but overall, I just don't. I don't see. I don't know. This is I think Ricardo. Even though, last fight against Tukhugov, he didn't look that. It wasn't a good look. He kind of got beat up in that fight. Then he beat Bill Algeo up pretty good. I think he just fought better. He's fought better opponents. I'm gonna go with him. I think he wins this fight. And not betting it. Ricardo Ramos. He's minus 350 favorite, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Ramos should have this. I think he's a much more proven commodity. We don't really know a lot about Danny Chavez.
Yeah.
He has 3 finishes in his record of 11 wins, and those seem to be the ones that got him to the UFC. 3 knockouts in the first round. But other than that, he's a decision machine. Win or lose, seemingly a decision machine. So yeah, I expect Ricardo Ramos to win this fight.
As do I.
Next fight, Jasmine Jasudavicius, which is such a dope last name, versus Natalia Silva. I'm not going to dig through it again, but Silva's got another overinflated record where she fought a bunch of nobodies. Uh-oh. John's frozen.
I am. I'm here. Can you hear me, though?
I can. I'm kicking you out. Go rejoin.
I'm trying. You want me to just rejoin? I'm trying to.
Yep.
Hang on. I'm trying to. What the hell happened?
I don't know. I'm kicking you out. 3, 2, 1. I kicked him. He's been kicked. Removed. Given the boot. Bang, zoom, right to the moon. He'll be back, though, I promise. Hey, look, we found you. You're a person.
Sorry.
You're a real boy. Hooray! All right, so
Where we at? Jonathan?
Natalia Silva, she's got another bullshit record. I mean, not all of it. It's not as bad. Her last fight outside the UFC was against a girl who was very similarly credentialed to her. But she's also got a lot too many of those, like, oh, I have a lot of fights and you've never fought before type of situations for me to feel anything reliable about her. Her losses are to Marina Rodriguez. She took Marina Rodriguez to decision, though. That's actually super impressive. And then in the beginning, she just lost to just whoever. But that's actually pretty common. Women tend to take a lot, like, they get thrown into the fire earlier because there's not as many of them, and they tend to take a lot of losses because they take a lot of fights that they're not really supposed to take. Kind of like it's because the development of women's MMA is behind where the development of men's MMA is.
Right.
It's not to say they're skill sets, but it just happens. These things happen a lot more commonly this way. But yeah, Jessamine Jessica Vicious on the other side has all like normal fights. Like, like most of the girls she fought have more fights than her, except when she fought Elise Reed. But like that was in CFFC, and Elise Reed's in the UFC now too.
Mm-hmm.
So no big deal. But Jessamine at 7-1 versus Natalia versus it's just not happening. Jessamine's gonna win this. I don't know that much about Jessamine's style.
She's tall. She's very tall for this weight class. She's listed at like 5'7", and with that, she's got a pretty big reach. Also 68 inches. So she's taller and she's got that reach over most girls. So have that here. Natalia Silva's stats like that aren't really listed. Everything's unavailable on her. Probably the main thing is she hasn't fought in 3 years. She was a regular in Jungle Fight. It looks like most of her wins are submissions. So she wants to get you down and she wants to submit you. She trains out of the gym owned by Paulo Costa. I don't know how long that gym's been around though. Team Eraser. I don't know how long that's been around, but they do have. It must be legit because they have their whole like coaching staff listed and they have a bunch of pro fighters there. So I'm assuming it's a legit, pretty legit gym. Actually, Natalia Silva's won 1, 2, 3, 4. She's won 6 fights in a row, all by submission. So Jasmine fought Kay Hansen last time, and she's a decent-sized underdog. Kay Hansen lost that fight, and now she's also out of the UFC. Jasmine's defensive wrestling is really good. She's that extra arm length, that reach, her clinch game that's able to keep girls off of her. Her striking is good. She's gonna outstrike everyone pretty much. She lost to Elise Reed. I see that. That was only her like 4th or 5th pro fight though. But other than that, she's fought all girls that have still had been in the circuit. And she's beat them. She's a pretty big favorite. She's minus 275. I don't think I can back betting this. She can look really good. She could stuff takedowns. The other girl hasn't fought in 3 years, and she could slug her and make the other girl look stupid. Jasmine also tires out a little bit. It looks like Kay Hansen was able to start getting takedowns in the 3rd round, and she won the 3rd round. But Jasmine had 2 rounds in the bank. Jasmine doesn't. I wouldn't count on Jasmine stopping anybody. So this fight's probably going to go 3 rounds. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm going to take Jasmine. Just because the other girl inactivity, 3 years off is a long time. and she's probably fighting the tallest girl she's ever faced. So, all right, I got Jasmine too. Oh, we missed Court McGee versus Jeremiah Wells. We missed that one. Okay. Um, this one's exciting. I think this will be Court McGee's battle tested veteran. He's extremely hard to finish. He's only been finished once in his career. I think Sean Brady opened up his UFC career against McGee. Brady was able to outclass him striking in the stand-up, and then McGee was able to win the third round against Brady. McGee's just tough. He's very durable. His last fight, Ramazan Ameev was supposed to be able to take him down and control him and beat him up. And it was actually the opposite way around. Court McGee was the one that getting takedowns and beating him up. So this is a little different matchup. Jeremiah Wells is like a super athlete, super sick grappler. Henzo Gracie Philly, they're undefeated. We talked about it before.
14-0 with the UFC.
Like their D2J is so legit. Wells also he's a super athlete. He has super power. It's fast. It's not anything. He's just as fast with his hands as Brady is. And Brady was able to win 2 rounds from McGee, just striking, not getting takedowns or going for them. Wells does gas, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't see Court McGee taking Wells down early when they're fresh. I don't think McGee's that great of a wrestler. If that is his game plan, which would be smart, is for him to just look for takedowns, try to tire Wells out, tap him with striking power, and try to win this fight. I think Wells is going to own all the moments. He's going to have the quicker striking. He's going to have all the big shots early. I think Wells wins this fight. I think Wells also, if Court McGee tries to take him down, I mean, this is a different type of submission game. I don't know. He's in danger there of getting swept or getting stuck from the bottom, maybe. But I got Wells.
Yeah. Jeremiah Wells spars like he's smuggling sledgehammers. Doesn't make any fucking sense how hard this dude hits. I don't expect him to get. I mean, I guess he has 2 recent submissions. I don't expect him to finish Court McGee, partly because, like you said, Court McGee doesn't get finished, even when he does lose. You know, Court McGee died like twice.
No.
Yeah, he was on the Ultimate, not in a fight. He was on the Ultimate Fighter, and he's died, I think twice. Yeah, overdose. He told some story about like he started doing drugs in Ohio. This might be, and woke up in Utah 2 weeks later.
I've heard stories from that from people. Yeah, usually like heavy drugs are involved, like serious shit.
Yeah. So he was one of those where his heart stopped or some shit like that, and came back from that, just like Matt Brown, right? These unfinishable dudes, because they've already been finished by life.
Right.
And then you throw them into a fight, and they're like, "Yeah, this ain't shit."
Right.
Court McGee drowns people. I haven't seen Jeremiah Wells get drowned by anybody. So as long as he can keep floating, no reason he shouldn't win.
No, I see that too. Yeah, I think Jeremiah Wells. I know this. So this line came out. Jeremiah Wells opened up like -130, and to me, I was like, being that I know a little bit more about Jeremiah Wells, being like from our area. I was like, oh wow, that's great value. I was like, I think that's right about. I know he's fighting a tough veteran, but I think Jeremiah Wells should be a little bit more in like -180, -200 range. And since then, but the public's betting Court McGee, the line's it's about even money now, or Wells is a small underdog. So the public's on McGee. I don't know. I like Wells to pass this test. I think Wells is younger, fresher. Yeah, I think his power that's going to keep McGee off him for a little bit. But we'll see. I think it's going to be a fun fight, though. All right. Adrian Yanez versus Tony Kelly. Adrian Yanez is like such a big favorite every time he fights. And he has all this hype, and he was everyone's darling on the last time he fought. Oh, he's gonna win my finish. He's gonna crush this dude. Yada yada yada, and he looked very. I don't know. It was a battle against Davy Grant, who can take a punch. But I wasn't too impressed. It wasn't like let's go call this guy like he should be -3, -400 every time he fights. I don't know. So far undefeated since he's got to the UFC. 4 of his 5 fights have been finishes. So the man has talent. I don't think anyone he's fought though is still in the UFC except Davy Grant, his last one. He won a split decision, so one judge thought he lost that fight as a big favorite. Tony Kelly, on the other hand, that dude can ball. He passed every test I've seen. He took, he took, he looked, he was getting it. Kai Kamaka was putting it on him. And he came back in that fight in the 3rd round. And he fought well. He's really hard to finish. Just one of those guys. He's never actually been finished in his pro career. And Kai Kamaka was hitting him with some shots. He lost the fight, but he stayed in there and he came on at the end. Since that, he was an underdog his last 2 fights, but he came out looking like the favorite. He won unanimous decision, and then he got a stoppage of Randy Costa, who we're not gonna. That doesn't age well, but still, the guy's tough. He comes to fight every time. I like his game. I think he's live in this fight. This could be back and forth on the feet, or whether Kelly gets it on the ground. I think I'm going to go with Kelly for the upset.
I am not going to go with Kelly for the upset.
Smart man.
I have not looked into Adrian Yanez, but I keep hearing his name. The people that I follow speak very, very highly about his skill set. So I am going to trust that, and then look at his record and be like, oh, damn, he beats a lot of people with a lot of skills. What does he have? 2 losses? 3 losses? Miles Johns, that dude's in the UFC now, and that was a main event. So that means that was for a title. And okay, so he went 5. That must have been 5 rounds. Yeah, he lost a 5-round main event 4 years ago, and lost another decision like a year and a half before that. Like this against a dude that was good. The only thing that can Tony Kelly crack? Not really. Yeah. Nah. Adrian Yanez is going to walk through him. Adrian Yanez is going to get punished, though. He's going to get hit a lot. But he will be taking this victory.
All right, I see it. All right, main card: Damir Ismagulov versus Goram Kutaladze. So I don't know a lot about. I know Ismagulov is really highly regarded. He's fucking 23-1. I don't know too many Russians that get Master of Sport in general in just combat. Like I've seen like boxing or wrestling or something. Like this guy has like all faces. Like this guy has a Master of Sport in combat.
That's not an actual title. It should be saying Combat Sambo. I don't know that it's not an actual title. But like I know what you're talking about.
He's got mixed martial arts. I saw Master Sports in combat on somewhere. His wiki says Master Sports in MMA. I don't know anyone that's ever gotten that. So
that must be a new thing. But all that means is that that is them saying that this person's a black belt.
Okay.
Right. So there's, but the way that you get those is through tournaments. So master of sport basically means you're a black belt, and you won like your regional thing or something like that. And then they have like a national master of sport, an international master of sport, and a something else if you win the worlds of that tournament. But it's basically just different levels of black belt.
Okay.
And that's just how they terminology. That's just the terminology they use. Khabib has like 6 masters of sports.
Okay.
Right, which I mean, it's Khabib, but like, yeah. Demir's record, that's like a this dude should have been here a while ago type record. But like starting outside the UFC, he fought a dude who was 22-10. Before that, 21-3, 13-2, 9-2, 7-5. Okay, here he has a bullshit fight where he fights a guy who's 0-1, and another one where he fights a guy who's 1-0. And then it's 6-2, 16-3, right? And then there's another bullshit fight that sneaks in there. But like, the dude fought winners and made it to the top fighting winners.
Yeah.
Right. Even in the UFC, let's see, what's he had? 1, 2, 3, 4 fights in the UFC. His opponents have a combined like almost 50 wins. 30, 40, over 50 wins, 52 wins, and 10 losses, 12 losses. Like, this dude's fucking good. That being said, other guys from Georgia. I'm picking the Georgian.
Yeah, Kutalibi, he beat Mateus Gamrot on short notice, and he's definitely highly regarded. He's supposed to fight Don Madge, and I remember that line. That was going to be a PFL fight, and like he was like favored over Don Madge, who was a pretty good grappler fighter. So I was kind of surprised at that. Yeah, he is all of his fights he's been winning. They're in different organizations like Scandinavian Fight Club. I don't know what that is. Like Superior Challenge. Like, yeah, he's fighting out of Sweden. So yeah, he's definitely has some talent, but I'm going to go with Demir. You got Kutaletse. Okay. So we're different there. Joaquin Buckley versus Albert Duraev. I don't know. I'm going with Buckley for the upset. Something tells me like Duraev is a bigger guy. He's bigger, and one day it's going to catch up with Buckley, where he's just not the natural. Like he's just not. I don't know if his like body type style belongs in this weight class. And this is
he does always look small.
This is where like I feel like this is the matchup where he just gets owned by like a guy who's natural there and who won't get tired because Buckley's like a ball of muscle. I just don't know if Duraev's that guy to do it. I feel like he gasses too. I feel like his striking sucks. I feel like if he needs he needs takedowns and control Buckley. I feel like Buckley can get up for at least a round, and Buckley's gonna have the power striking advantage. I think he's a really live dog here. I'm going with Buckley. I'm not going to overthink it.
I'm going with Duraev because I keep hearing whispers about this dude and how absolutely insane he is. And then he looked pretty good. I forget which one of his fights I watched. But he looked pretty good. And going through his record, like the dude's super battle tested. Beat a guy who was 32-5. Beat another guy who was 30-5. Beat another guy who's 21-1. Like when he was 3-2, he beat a guy who was 10-5. When he was 2-0, beat a guy who that one 21-16. That's kind of a gimme as well. But like I don't know, Buckley's explosive. No, no, it sounded like when fucking Tyron Woodley was bitching and moaning about that. Buckley hits fucking hard, right? For whatever reason that is. Um, he had that highlight reel knockout and has been getting clout off of it since then. But I don't know, man. Like Jordan Wright, not super impressive. Antonio Arroyo looked really good until he got to the UFC, and now he's kind of been mixed results. And then he went to decision with Abdul Razak Al Hassan. So I don't know. I don't expect this to be a highlight reel fight, but I do expect Duraev to win this.
That was a good fight. That fight was pretty good against Abdul Razak. In a sense where there were some takedowns and some. I think that you saw a little bit of like Buckley was put under some pressure there. So I mean, yeah, I mean, he just like Buckley's been okay. He got like he had that hype, and then he got caught by he got knocked out by a head kick against Alessio Di, what it's thing. Yeah, I get it. Like he's all right. It's hard. Like he just got caught. Like I don't know. Like that's not. Other than that, I mean, the guy's not done much winning fights. It's tough competition, but yeah, we'll see. He might get owned. All right. The Trailblazers back. Kevin Holland against Tim Billy Bird Means. The last time we saw Tim Means, he was upsetting somebody. Who the fuck was it? Because I bet him that time. Who did he bet? Who was Tim Means? I saw his list.
Nicholas Dalby, Mike Perry, and Laureano Starboli.
Oh, the Mike Perry. Yeah, Mike Perry. I got that one, and then he beat Nick Dalby as well. Yeah, he's on a 3-fight winning streak. Yeah, a lot of fights, a lot of experience behind him. I don't think anyone's shooting for a takedown in this match. If Tim Means does try to get Kevin Holland down, I actually don't think that's to his advantage. I think Holland's got much better jiu-jitsu than him. Holland's underrated. He's an underrated submission artist for as bad as he's looked wrestling so far, if that makes sense. He's working on his wrestling overall, but his submission game is really good. I don't think Tim Means the guy that's going to take him down and control him. Fuck no, like I don't think so. I think Kevin Holland should have no problem getting back up. I think they match up similarly. They match up similarly on the feet. I think Kevin Holland's going to have the speed advantage. I think he's going to have the power advantage. Tim Means will have the technical advantage. Am I going to bet Kevin Holland minus 300 in this fight? No, but I think he wins the fight. What do you think?
Yeah, I expect Kevin Holland to win this fight. Tim Means has been around for a while, but I'm happy that Kevin Holland's decided to go down to welterweight because he was only walking around at like 191 pounds, 192 pounds, fighting against top 10 middleweights, which is just kind of unnecessary. So I'm glad that he's taking the advantage that he can, being the bigger dude. Not even the bigger dude, being like the normal size dude at 170 pounds. Like honestly, if you're 190 fighting at 170, you're kind of small. There's a lot of 190 pounders that are fighting at 155.
Yeah, I saw them walking in too.
But yeah, Tim Means has fought just about everybody, so I don't think any of the more unusual things that Kevin Holland brings to the table are going to bother him.
Right.
But this should be a good fight to see where Kevin Holland's going to end up. Like, is he going all the way to the top of this division, or what's up?
Sorry, my son just walked in. Yeah, this will be a test.
Walking, Little John walking.
He does. He's walking and rolling. Let's get him on camera. Donald Cowboy and Joey Els. That's we talked about that fight about a month ago. It got canceled. We both went with Cowboy. That's your co-main event.
Yep.
So bring us to the main event. Calvin Kattar, Josh Emmett. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a striker's delight. I don't see anybody wasting energy trying
They're
to
both wrestlers.
who. Kattar and Emmett?
Both of them.
Josh Emmett.
Yeah, they're both wrestlers.
I don't think I've
Like-
seen Josh Emmett ever attempt a takedown. Honestly.
Yeah, no, not at all. No, 100%. They're both just going to strike in this fight, but
Yeah.
they're both wrestlers. Like as far as their origins, they're both wrestlers.
Well, I don't. That's that. What do they do now? Like like there's a lot of There's a lot of people with wrestling backgrounds that just never try it in the cage.
Yeah,
It's just because, like you said, like you've touched on, like sometimes it just doesn't work. With that being said, this is going to be a striker's battle. Josh Emmett has gotten a knockdown in at least his last 4 fights. I've seen it. Ige, Burgess, Bektic, and Johnson. He finished them. So this guy can knock me down. He's got power. He was a huge favorite over Dan Ige. I thought that fight was really close. It ended up being a unanimous decision win for Josh Emmett. Would it shock me if he catches Kattar and he's the guy that like knocks Kattar out with his power? No. Eventually, I feel like Kattar's somebody's going to hurt him. The man is has been finished. He's been finished in like 9 years. I feel like I'm not even counting that. That was a submission. The guy's never been knocked out by a punch. And you saw against Max Holloway, if he took all that, I don't know. He came back, looked great against Giga last time. So I can't go against him. Tough fight. I don't know if I'm going to not betting it, but I got Kattar.
Yeah, Josh Emmett has been at Team Alpha Male forever, as far as I know, but keeps getting these catastrophic injuries, like 2 years off type injuries, or full year off type injuries, and then like back-to-back type stuff. I was actually kind of happy as far as his development to see him going to decision against Shane Burgos and against Dan Ige, because before that he was just kind of flatlining people. You mentioned that he's got a knockdown in his last 4 fights. I forget what the number is, but I think he's number 4 for active UFC fighters in knockdowns. And the other 3 are all heavyweights. So this dude cracks harder than just about anybody, but nobody knocks out Calvin Kattar. It just doesn't happen. Now, if he knocks out Calvin Kattar, I think he deserves a title shot. But I don't expect that to happen. I expect Calvin Kattar. I think Calvin Kattar will probably win a decision here.
That makes sense. The total's 4.5 rounds, so it can go. It's favored to go the distance. Both guys, even though they both can strike, both guys are pretty hard to finish. So I guess we'll see. Kattar probably takes it. But yeah, there you have it. Another card. Looking forward to it. Please, if you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends. I love hearing anybody's comments. I think we got a lot of comments recently. Always like responding. Keep it coming. Looking to have another winning week. If you want more deeper detailed betting action, please email us, algorithmversusexperts@gmail.com, and we can go more from there.
Cool. All the things he said, but with a smile. Deuces.
Hashtag Algo versus